guys, Brian with PS4 Trophies. Yesterday, I uploaded a video detailing an exploit where you can get infinite souls by duplicating a boss soul. Now, after I released that video, it became apparent that a lot of people were having difficulty pulling this off, so I spent a few hours analyzing the method, and with the help of commenters in the previous video, I believe I can help many of you that have been having issues, so I'm going to break this entire method down. Now, to rehash the setup, you need to go to your equipment and put in any soul that drops from a boss in your quick item slot. These boss souls are the only ones that will work. Some of the bosses will actually give you a soul that'll give you 10 times more souls than what I'm using here. I'm kind of still in the beginning of the game. Now make sure nothing else is in your quick item slot. Once you've done that, go to your tool belt and clear out everything there and place an Ashen Estus flask in tool belt slot 1. Make sure all the other ones are empty. Now have a shield equipped. I found that this small round shield kind of worked well for me. Most any shield that you can parry with will work. Experiment, you might have better luck with another one. Now it's time to start the exploit. Now it's worth mentioning that you should back up your save to USB in case you accidentally use the boss soul. You probably don't want to lose them, as they can be used to trade for a ring or spell later in the game. Now during this process, you will be asked if you want to use the boss soul. If you can see the heads up display in the bottom left corner as shown in the screenshot, you do not want to use it. Select no, otherwise you'll lose it forever. If you execute this properly, you'll see that you will not see the heads up display in the bottom left, as you can see here, and you're safe to use the soul without it being removed from your inventory. So here's the breakdown. You start off by doing a parry, which is L2 on the PS4 controller. I do have the commands up on the top left, Xbox commands on the top right. Now during the parry, at a very specific moment, and I'll get into that momentarily, you need to press 4 buttons within a split second. Those buttons are square, then options, then down on the D-pad, and X. Now to make things easier, you can actually press and hold down on the D-pad before you parry, and then just hold it down until you succeed, no matter how many attempts it takes. So this will eliminate one of the button presses you need to make, and you only have to worry about starting the parry with L2, then follow up with the square options button and then X. It might take you a few minutes to kind of get the muscle memory required to execute these commands quickly. Now how I do it is I hold down on the D-pad with my left hand, and then with my right thumb, on my right thumb on the right hand, I'll place the middle of my thumb on the square button and then the tip of it just over the options button. So when I hit square, I can just tilt my thumb up to hit the options button really quick and then hit X. You can also try hitting the square and then slide your thumb up to hit the options button, whichever feels more comfortable to you. Now it's also worth noting that on PS4 you can substitute the options button with the touchpad. I just didn't find that actually too helpful myself. Now once you're able to execute the buttons very quickly, you will need to figure out the precise moment to input the commands. This is where it gets very, very tricky because you have a very tiny window during the parry to start and then finish the commands. So let's take a look at just the parry animation by itself. As you can see, when you hit L2 with parry, your character will swipe his shield from his right to his left before dropping the shield down to his side. The exact moment you want to start your button commands is when the shield is parallel to his left shoulder and just as he's dropping it down to his idle state. So it's actually a few frames into the downward movement of the shield that you want to start off with the square option button, D-pad, which you should already have held down so you don't need to hit it again, and then X, which will all have to be done before the parry animation is complete. Now you may find turning the camera angle will help you identify that timing spot. Now assuming you've done it properly, you will now have the option to use the boss soul and you want to press yes. Make sure again that the heads up display is gone in the bottom left. If it's not, you are too late or you didn't hit the menu button. If successful, hit yes and you will consume the boss soul and gain the souls, which you can then use to level up your character or purchase items. Now you're going to still fail more times than that. You're going to fail a bunch. But knowing the process and the proper timing will make this a little less aggravating, and you'll do it with more regularity. Now there are similar methods using different animations where you could switch out the parry for a punching attack or a roll animation, so you can try that if you want. I just found kind of standing in one place was a little easier to get the timing down of the entire process. So that's it, guys. That's the entire system, start to finish, really what you should do and when you should do it. I hope that helps. If it did, make sure you guys hit the like button and of course subscribe for more.